Mr. Patel requested a meeting and came over to my house. And what I did was I connected the Maspeth group via a conference call on my phone. And we sincerely tried to work out an agreement with him. But we want an agreement that's not in principle. We want an agreement that's legally binding so that we don't have to come out and waste our time doing this every weekend. All right? And that's what happened yesterday when Senator Ravella, Councilman Grodenchik, and an assembly lady from Solanges, I believe, from Nassau County, all got together. They had an agreement in principle with him that said by the end of December, you know, there'll be no more homeless in their hotels. Well, that's nice, except for the fact that he can write a different letter tomorrow and another letter the day after. We want something that's legally binding so that if Mr. Patel decides that he's actually going to phase this out in all his hotels, wherever they are. And mind you, the circumstances in Maspeth are different than the circumstances in Belrose and Floral Park. In Belrose and Floral Park, he actually owns the business, he actually owns the building, and the land. All right? In Maspeth, it's a different story. He owns the business and the hotel, but he doesn't own the land. And we're trying to work out a different agreement with him in Maspeth. But here in Belrose, what we want is we want a restricted covenant, all right, that is attached to the deed of the property. So that if in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, the property gets sold, we're not back out here on the street again saying, you know, solutions, not shelters. All right, this is very sincere, and this is also trying to bring some level of dignity to find those people who find themselves in distress. And I mean true and sincere distress, all right, so that they can get the services that they need. We all pay huge taxes, whether you're on the Queens or Nassau side, and the mayor has to work with his elected officials and community leaders to make sure that whether it's, you know, they always like to put the young woman and the hungry child out there as the poster child for everything that's going on. Well, if that's the case, and they actually are abused women, and there are many in the city of New York, then we should not be calling them homeless people. We should be calling them abused victims, and there should be solutions for them. Yeah! Just so you know, that's where we're headed with this. All right? It's not anti-homeless people, because some of those homeless people are actually, some are suffering from mental illness. Some are suffering from PTSD from the war, and they're veterans of the United States, and we should be taking care of these people. We shouldn't be just, you know, there's a saying when I was in the police department, and the saying was this, all right, don't ship the problem off to someone else, all right? Another commanding officer, another unit leader, whatever the case is. Solve the problem where it is, where it sits. All right, and address it where it sits, and try and work out so that you can bring whoever it is back into the mainstream, whether it's in policing or whether those are homeless people across the city of New York who find themselves in a bevy of different situations here in the city of New York. That's what we're all about. The fact that these people, like Mr. Patel and others throughout the city of New York, are making nearly $250,000 a month based on a city policy which basically engages sheltering companies who are making a bundle on this as well to find space. Thanks for saying that. All right, you know, because the number of $250,000 per month is what we estimated out of the Belrose and Floral Park locations. There are much bigger locations. What'd you say that about?
Corona, Elmhurst.
Last year, made $22 million on one location in Long Island City of 110 rooms to shelter the homeless. And that was only the landlord. That's not the company called Concannon, or their so-called non-profit. I can only imagine what they made if the landlord of the building made $22 million last year. These guys are just taking money and not helping anybody.
And there, you know, we started this off, and many of you don't know this, but I participated with some other people that are here, all right, at the Pan American Hotel on Queens Boulevard. Pan American Hotel at one point was a thriving hotel, all right, and it's in the middle of Queens, the center of Queens, and should have been promoted as such, so that it's on the tax rolls of the city of New York. I don't know if anybody's here from East Elmhurst United. I saw Jennifer earlier, but I don't know if she's still here. But, you know, we tried to fight with them, and the city told us, hey, listen, this is only temporary. It's not full, you know, we're never going to make it permanent. And that's what's got us so concerned about Belrose and Floral Park and Maspeth. Because the city's turning around, they're saying the same thing, and they're lying to the voters. They're outright lying to the voters. Now, without being a conspiracy theorist, I'm going to tell you this. There is a line of thought out there which says that Mayor de Blasio is in cahoots with some of these sheltering companies because they're giving to his political campaign. I don't want to, well, it may be true. I don't know it's a fact, so those of you who know me, unless I know it's a fact, well, then, you know, I don't know it, I can't say it, but I can tell you this. It's a line of thought that's out there, and if we can get it actually factually in documents somewhere, we'll certainly put it out there and we'll promote it out there so that everybody knows that the mayor of the city of New York is in bed with these guys.
Blasio's gotta go to jail!
I'm going to give you the facts you need. 2013, Mr. Patel gave a $27,000 bribe.